Hello everybody, Ben here and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm doing a layout update on the narrow gauge layout. This small hill here has had some polyfiller on it, which makes it more lumpy, and with a bit of grass, weeds and some grey paint, it should look good in that building there, and some grass will hide all the various wires. And I think that should look quite good once it's finished. You can see the scouts here, one of that sack thing there needs gluing on, and I think they need a little bit better painting, but they should look quite good leaving the goods yard with their track cart off to wherever they're staying. You can also see that's where the house would go for that building. I need to finish the coal staves, the little sort of shed, and I possibly might add another building. I'm not sure. You can see the military convoy that's passing through. We've got a 6-wheel truck, I forgot which one it is, a gun and a run gun carrier next to the big hill here with the Metcalf tower kit, which was really fun to build. I'm going to add another person standing there and some grass around it as well as small weeds. There's another person standing up there as well. And I think that obviously that needs painting grey colour, and I reckon with some maybe sort of greeny colours and some sort of more ironstone-y colours like I saw at the Tallylyn. I reckon that'll look quite good, especially with all these various bits of polystyrene that's about. I reckon tidying up those should make them look quite good because they're my favourite parts of the layout. You can also see that tree needs gluing in place, and the ballast need doing. And the fences also need working on. I think this layout part here is mostly alright. Maybe that sheep, some small bits of work need doing. Just like I said, tying up the white bits over there would help them look a lot better as well. But I'm pretty pleased with how this is looking. For the stock, there's obviously the chorus brake. There's quite a lot of kit built stock. They've got locomotives and coaches, wagons, quite a lot. Some of them I think have been seen, some of them haven't. There's this chorus railway brake van. I think the couplings need painting and no one added, and that should be alright. This wagon here is also chorus. I think that one's alright. It's been weathered and I'm happy with that one. This wagon here has recently been filled with slate, and I reckon with some weathering that'll be alright. That one needs its load finishing, a bit of a paint and some weathering, and the couplings on that one are alright as well. This one here I think needs a slightly better paint, some weathering and some couplings, and that'll be alright. This one here I need to glue on the brake lever from on one side and try and make the couplings actually work because they're quite low at the moment. Not sure I'll do that, I might just have to sit in the siding. This van here needs the roof fixing as I made it too short, so I got another one from the Volvo coaches, and they need sort of sanding to fit, and it needs obviously painting, weathering and couplings. Then that should look like the other one. These two bolsters here need a bit of painting, weathering, and the stanchions fitting properly, and they should be alright, as well as couplings, and they should be alright. This slate slab wagon here needs a bit of a paint, some weathering, and one of those side pole, I don't know what they're called, sticky up bits, gluing back on as well, and that should be alright. And the couplings, if I remember, worked alright as well. Then there's these three. These three I tried to make couplings for with just some wire. Didn't really go well. That and the sort of marks from the super glue that I used. So repaint, windows, couplings, and weathering in these should be alright. And obviously the roofs need to be glued on as well. But they look quite good, I think. You saw this brake van in the video, and that is weathered, everything's fine, and that it just needs coupling, and that should be alright, it should be done. It's quite a lot of rolling stock, this really. There's obviously each piece of rolling stock needs couplings apart from like the chorus brake van, the skip wagon, the slate incline wagon and the chorus open wagon. They all need couplings, and that's going to add up to being quite expensive, but I reckon it'll be worth it because some of them obviously you can't get, or some of them are a lot cheaper. And now here we've got St. Enoch, that's what I call it. I don't think I've actually showed this much, but it's on a Cato chassis, which is the same as I showed with this one here, which looks quite good. It maybe looks a bit small, but it looks alright, especially if you compare it to the Engage wagons it's supposed to pull, well, the Engage coupling wagons, like the three coal wagons and that one dapple gunpowder van. Because obviously it would mean changing the couplings, but it'll work fine with those. Perhaps a brake van might just need switching. You can see St Enoch here, the roof needs gluing and a bit of better painting. I need to remove that glazing before I spray it with primer. Some lining and various other bits painting, like behind the dome. Some weathering, and I reckon that should be alright. I'm quite pleased with this one. This is a Dundas Models kit. It's similar to Russell, I think, on the Welsh Island, but I think it's based on the ones that went to the Sierra Leone Railway. But I quite like this design. Obviously, to make it cheaper, I've put it on a Kato chassis, which does sometimes fit well, sometimes. Like now, I do have a bit of a struggle. Obviously, the real one had outside valve gear and outside cylinders, but I think this was alright. Is if you imagine what's on the outside of the Kato chassis as sort of the outside of the tram skirts, because I'm imagining it's a tram engine. Got tram skirts. Just because it's cheaper than having to buy whatever chassis was actually needed to run it on, which I probably can't get anymore. And also it means it'll run pretty well, like it's doing now. And obviously with white metal being very heavy, it means it's got a lot of pulling capacity. I just need to fit it with couplings really, and then I'll be actually able to see that. And obviously this loco, because of the Kato chassis sitting quite low, I could fit it with a lot of weight as well, which would be good. The thing about this loco though, it is very big. Now I thought the Baldwin was a big narrow gauge loco, but it looks like a midget compared to the St Enoch. Now obviously the Baldwin is obviously a 2-foot gauge machine, whereas the St Enoch is based on a 2-foot 6-inch, so maybe that's why it seems bigger. When you compare it to a coach, like these Linston Bouts or bogie coach for example, you can see it looks a bit tall, so it's not too dissimilar to how Russell looks on the Welsh Highland Railway. You can see here all the RTR stock that I've got here, like the Pekka 4-wheel coaches, like this open wagon here. Something like passengers in there would look very good. I think that one would be worth putting people in. See the weathered brake. I need to weather and paint that, and then the same with pretty much most of the others. I think, for example, the Linston Bouts bogie coach, that needs some linering, lettering, weathering, perhaps people, various other things. And the ICI wagon, I reckon I'll repaint that one. And the slate wagon, I want another set of those, I think. And weathering that and removing the LMBR lettering on that would be, I think, on the brake van would be quite a good idea. But I'm quite pleased with all this. I think it looks quite good running as well. I'm quite pleased with how the narrow gauge layout's turning out and how everything's going. Obviously I'm slowing down on videos, but I'm trying to make more, and I hope to do more on the narrow gauge ones as well. And I'll just finish off the video by showing the rest of the narrow gauge stuff that I filmed when I went to the Tallylyn Railway. I didn't make a video on it because I didn't feel the need to. I only went last year, and it was the same engine, just from Tom Roll. Just we were in a different coach, which obviously I've got one quite similar to here. It's got the logo on the crane, or whatever it is. No, it's like a cleaner thing.
No, it's the hedge cutter thing.
That's what I meant.
Back of tractors.
Alpha Midlander. There's number 3 in the shed now. So Hayden.
Excellent view of it now. It is lovely.
Thank you for watching this video by me. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below with some video ideas or feedback. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.